I've stuffed them up many times, and it's been on 5 pages in some instances. Like, hi guys, it's Hugh here from the Builder's Office, having a bit of a laugh and starting the intro off. Builder's Office, what we're here for. We're here for homeowners and be able to give as much information and advice that you could possibly get that you wouldn't normally be able to get if you're just going out to a regular run-of-the-mill builder. And this is where we want to help people. So today, episode number 32, and I haven't quite come up with a description for the title at the moment, but it's going to be centered around what mentors can be doing for you. And we all know that in our lives, we all have mentors that come and go, and we definitely see the value in what they're providing to us. So we definitely want to touch on a little bit of that. But you may be hearing some background noise. Yes, we are on site, and it's a beautiful home being built out here. And the guests that I have on today, they've been involved to be able to help the builder here get the best result. And I believe the builder is actually the homeowner as well. So that's a pretty cool thing. But before we get too far into that, I have been discussing the green flags, the red flags over the last little while when it comes to deciding on builders, deciding on definitely professionals. I don't think I've touched too much on the other professionals that are out there in the building industry yet, but we will be getting into some of that. So we want to know who's really going to be in your corner and who's actually going to be the ones that are going to be helping you be able to give you the best advice. So today, I really wanted to make sure that we could have someone that is out there actively doing a lot for homeowners and getting the best results for the homeowners. So when it comes to this, I'll throw a little bit over to Katie Rees. And now Katie Rees is a home build mentor. I'm getting that right, aren't I?
That's right.
Yes,
Yep,
excellent.
that's
So Katie, I want to thank you and welcome you to the podcast. And I guess the first little bit that we sort of want to jump into, or that I'd like to jump into, is a little bit about yourself, where you've come from, and what you sort of do to get the best for your clients and the homeowners.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me
Welcome.
on. I'm a home build mentor, but before I was a home build mentor, or before I made that title up,
Yep.
I guess my background is building design.
Yes.
So I guess I was a fresh-faced kid straight out of school and knew that I wanted to be involved in designing and making meaningful homes for people. So I actually did a year of architecture, and it, for reasons that aren't overly important, wasn't right for me.
Yep.
Took a year off, came back, and I studied building design and drafting. So then, as a 21-year-old, went straight into the industry. So I've been in the industry for over 20 years now. And most of my time first was as a senior designer and director of Vibe Design Group.
Yep.
And then 5.5 years ago, I went out on my own. I had a young family at the time, and I really wanted to be able to work with families and work with people who were perhaps looking to create a really meaningful home but didn't have huge budgets attached to what they were looking at doing. And I also knew deep down the power that a well-designed home can have in actually like connecting families and helping them connect easily every day. And I thought, well, this is the stuff that I want to be able to get out to people. So 5.5 years ago, I actually launched my own design business. So I was Katie Rees Design, and I was, I was a sole practitioner. So I kind of had a limited capacity in terms of how many projects I could take on at one time.
Yep.
And when I was getting inquiries from people, I was finding that there was a gap. There was a big gap between what they anticipated they could get for their budget and what they were actually asking for. And so I had to turn a lot of people away because I couldn't fit them in. But when I was turning them away, I thought, God, if they just find someone that's going to draw up what they ask for and then take it to a builder, they're going to get an awful shock by the time they get that far down the track.
Yes.
So I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if there was a service that could actually help homeowners up front learn what was involved in the process and how much it might cost and how to find the right people and the right team to make that happen for them so that they can start to, I guess, stop the issues before they happen. So then I dived into creating a home build mentoring program where I could actually help homeowners do just that.
Yep.
So I guess it's been about 2.5 years in development and a year and a half now that I've been practicing it exclusively. So I haven't taken on any more design work. And yeah, it's proving really valuable for homeowners, but really valuable for builders and designers as well, when the homeowners really appreciate what they bring to their projects as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Like now, when we met, what was it, maybe a month and a half ago, and we're at a Builders Network professional development day, which was brilliant to go to. And while Katie wasn't one of the only people presenting there, I saw massive value in what Katie was sort of talking about at the time. Now, I got a feel of the rest of the room and saw the reactions of some of the other people, and you've probably seen this as well, where you probably get a little bit of hesitation and pushback from builders when it comes to what you're sort of presenting and the options that you're or your process sort of allow homeowners to be able to be a little bit more sort of discerning in how they approach the builders. Now, this is just from my point of view as a builder. I love what you do. Yep. I loved the presentation. I loved because it resonated exactly with what we do within our own business and attempting to be more open with homeowners and to be able to get the best result for them. And so with the process that you were running through, at the time I could see some people sort of going, oh, that's a bit much. We couldn't incorporate that into our business. That was the feeling that I got. Do you ever feel like when the system and the course that you deliver to homeowners, do you ever feel like they find the challenge of finding a builder after doing your course is?
Do you know, if I can jump in and say that I think when there is initial pushback, and there is sometimes, absolutely, it's usually because builders have a certain way of doing things and they don't want to embrace a new way. And some of the things that I talk about, and I think the presentation you're talking about, I was about talking to the people behind the project. So some of it was more about processes that were caring for the clients and trying to almost get the level of care across. So it wasn't really about numbers and figures and nails and bricks and mortar. And I think that's a really comfortable space for a lot of builders to sit in. But most of the builders that I have the opportunity to talk to about home build mentoring love it. Lots of them actually refer their early inquirers across to home build mentoring because they know then that their eventual clients are being really looked after at the start, and when they're the ones that refer them across to me, then they loop back to them because they've got good information in terms of how to instigate it. And so I guess I do find at times there are pushback, and I find the pushback mostly to be from builders that aren't willing to embrace a new way of doing things. They go, this is the way I've always done it and I don't want to do it a different way. It's worked up until now, you know. And, you know, it's like, if it ain't broke, like,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Fix it. But it is broke. And there's no amount of, I think, tiny repairs that are going to repair the system that we have in place now. It kind of needs to be a bigger system that relooks at how we action all projects. And when I talk to builders about embracing a new way that educates the homeowners, and then the homeowners, you know, pull in the right designers to actually action the plan that they have, that's crystal clear. It's not you. We need to take out the he said, she said, like Chinese whispers kind of. You know, they said I could do it for 1,500 a meter squared. You said 3 years ago I could build it for 400,000. Now it's 700. Like so it's all starting to be documented. It's all starting to be calculated. And then that way, when it loops around, builders love it. Builders love it and designers love it because their homeowners are coming to them with realistic expectations of what's in front of them, and also a bit of a game plan that they can try and stick to.
Yep.
They're not just kind of, hoping that it's going to work out. Like we're kind of creating a game plan, and then everyone comes in on the game plan. Yeah, so it can be really positive, but there are moments, certainly. There's some builders that, don't like it. It's different. It's new, and that's okay. I'll get them around in the end.
Yeah, it's interesting because in that room on that day, a month and a half ago, it was really interesting because I was seeing a pretty diverse group in the room. There were ones that were, I guess you could say, probably more inclined to be more volume builders.
Yep.
And working on their methodology. We're working on the volume builder methodology, so it's just get them in, get them out as quick as possible. So they were the ones that I could see were probably the most resistant.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, I've probably seen that 90% of 90% of builds where the builder has been doing less than say 20 builds a year, they can they can work on the ideas that you're sort of putting towards your clients and the homeowners, and it's interesting because the smaller builders are able to sort of do it because they have the capacity to sort of move things around within their own business and learn that new model. And they're a lot more open to it. Where the more thanks, Dropsop. The more the love it. It's good. The more entrenched guys are in their ways and doing more than 20 homes a year, they do find it challenging to change any of the processes within their business to be able to sort of cater to the clients that are going to be not more challenging, but just a little bit more inclined to be chasing a builder that's got their best interest at heart as well.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that with some of those old business practices, it's for them it's more about the money than it is about the client or the client experience.
Yes.
Because as the listeners and viewers would know, my interest is about the experience. And from a small builder's perspective, that our clients sort of laughing, smiling at the end of the project and being able to put a photo up somewhere, standing there, just going, "Oh, we're really happy that we've gotten our home." I guess you could say it's the pushback would definitely predominantly be coming from some of the guys that just aren't willing to sort of budge.
I think as well when if you're looking at builders that do more projects like that, those 20 or so projects, I think quite often their clients, you know, aren't looking for a great experience. They're kind of looking sometimes at pushing things out really quickly, so they can probably embrace it to a lesser extent because I think that their clients are probably looking for a different outcome as well. I would say that the home build mentoring program and practices that I'm trying to promote directed to people that are looking at doing a home that's really meaningful to them. So a home that isn't just going to be put up and moved on in a couple of years. It's a home that they want to build and stay in and be really proud of, and it holds a lot of meaning to them. And I think more often than not always, but they tend to land with builders who I would say specialize in those custom type homes and potentially only do maybe even 5 to 10 depending on, or 2 to 10 depending on how many they have in their team. So I think when you're looking at the smaller teams like that, they're the ones that can really embrace the practices. And I think, so what I'm saying is I think there's something in the home build mentoring that can definitely benefit everyone. But I don't think it's an all or nothing setup as well. I think that there's definitely something in that for builders that perhaps do more projects each year to embrace smaller parts of it and still get a really good result.
Yeah. I was literally just thinking of something then. Now unfortunately it's dropped out of my mind, but it's great when we're talking about these sorts of things, and you get that thought that runs through there. It's like the people that were sort of that were out there for, whether it's a first homeowner that's looking for their first home as quick as possible. Now they've got a particular type of builder that's going to be suited for them. And do you find that you're getting people sort of come to you that are the first homeowner that you feel like, I'm guessing you've probably got a little bit of a qualification process when it comes to the clients that come and speak to you, and then vice versa.
Yeah, and I would say, like, I don't have a particular type of project or person. I guess the qualification for me is really that you're doing a home that's potentially meaningful to you, and that you want to get it right. So that's pretty broad scope.
Yes.
But having said that, I would say it's mostly people doing their second or third home.
Yes.
That's like, this is it.
Yep.
That we're going to do this once, and we want to do it right. And sometimes that's only renovations and additions. Like, I worked with it's a young family, and they were looking at doing relatively minor renovations and additions. So they had a more limited budget. But, they were saying to me, I think we'll just go up. And then when we explored the options, it was far too expensive for them to go up. So we were able to get a better result by saying single story and then helping connect them with the right designer and then potential builders after that. So it's not necessarily, I guess, the cost of the project or what the project is. It's more just you're committed to actioning it in a way that you can actually get it done without blowing the bank or ending up in a home that ultimately at the end of the day has cost you far too much money and you're not enjoying it because you're working extra hours trying to pay the mortgage off that you've had to take to actually build it, or that you're living in it and you've had to kind of compromise on so many finishes or change it, and you're a little bit disgruntled and thinking, this isn't the home that I was meant to have. So I guess the home build mentoring is really there to help people to realize what they can get for the budget that they have, so that they're not living in a home that feels like it's a shadow of what they were meant to have. If we start directing it from the start, then we can fall in love with the idea of what we can actually afford. Which can be amazing as well. There's lots of things. I think we one exercise that we do in the home build mentoring program is to do an exercise that promotes having a growth project mindset. So it might be that you come in, tell me everything you want. So, and they might say, we have a budget of $600,000 and we want a five bedroom home with 2 living areas. Like, it's, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but with a growth project mindset, it's really about establishing a how and a why for your project. So the what is really about the size and the style and the size and style and finishes. The how is about who you will pull in on your team to help you get there.
Yes.
And the why is really about how you want the home to live and feel. And it's really mostly about people. So if we make the why of the project about people and how we want to connect and live in the home, then I say to them, if we need to go and change how we go about it or what it is that we're creating, then they're just steps that we need to take along the way. They shouldn't be seen as a kick in the guts or a giant compromise. It's actually the road. It's the road we're establishing. But what we've got to do is make sure we keep that why intact. So they might learn that the home's going to be too big or cost too much money, or in a lot of circumstances, they learn that perhaps what they want is going to detract from how they actually want to connect with their family and how close they want to be with their family. So whatever the process is, we just be open to learning and changing. It's having that growth project mindset to say, well, that's okay. We can see that that's not going to work. So let's make a new path. Let's work out the new way that we're going to action the project.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's definitely something that I've been across that sort of that mindset when it's come to projects, and from as I sort of mentioned to you earlier on today, from 5 years ago with working with a business coach to be able to sort of change change the business around to be operating better, and putting that focus back onto the experience that the clients are having.
Yep.
Certainly revolutionized my business,
Yep.
and definitely made the experience that the clients were having to be that much more exciting, and to see them actually smile about it.
Yeah.
But also going into that space where we were helping them design, and being part of the design process. As a builder, it was a little bit daunting at the start.
Yeah.
I won't deny that, it was daunting. But being able to sort of get into that space where we were part of the team, that we were the ones giving the advice, especially when it came to the costings, because the costings are always going to be a major part and a major influence on how a project sort of moves forward. But being there in that space early on, we could see the benefit from doing that with our clients every single day.
Yeah.
Because they weren't sitting around freaking out going, oh, like the traditional model, design something, send it off to get priced up.
Yeah.
As we're designing it, we're pricing it as we're going.
Yeah.
So we're going, hey, look, we know from experience it's going to be this much to do that.
Yeah.
Have you seen a change with the builders that you speak to from